Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's Bird Final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 10th of May. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with this GavsWeatherVids and ECM ensembles, maybe around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, so I should get on that for you in a moment. Just see that first. The video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released the extended European outlook as well. So check out those two bits if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Now, we have sold out of our mugs and coasters. So you remember for the last couple of days I've been saying we're selling our final sets of mugs and coasters for £5. They've all gone. So thank you so much to everybody who has brought a mug and a coaster. They'll be on their way to you through the course of this week. We have 3 sets of GavsWeatherVids key chains and fridge magnets left. So that is the GavsWeatherVids keychain just there. This is the GavsWeatherVids fridge magnet. Ignore the coasters and the badges, pins, they're all sold out. That is the that's the fridge magnet just there. That's how that looks, and that is the keychain. And we've got 3 sets of those still to sell. So we're selling those for a £5 as well. If anybody would like a keychain and a fridge magnet for £5, then again, all you've got to do is message me at GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com, and I'll give you the link to our PayPal account. I would just normally give the link to the PayPal account, but as we've only got 3 left, I don't want people sending £5 was sold out. So the easy way of doing it is just on a first come first serve basis. Email me, and then I'll give you the link to PayPal account, £75, and then I'll get them out to you. We're selling, we're selling the winter merch stock. We're having a sale, GavsWeatherVids sale, because we've got summer merch coming. So we've got t-shirts and lots of other exciting things on the way for our summer merch. So we're clearing the decks, we're clearing the racks, clearing the shelves of the winter merch. I'm like it's like a shopping channel or something, isn't it? I know, very exciting. But thank you so much, everybody who's brought the mugs. I say they've all sold out. We do still have the 3 sets of keychains and fridge magnets. So if anybody would like those, then just a £5. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, okay, so that said, let's start the video. We're going to begin by having a look at the centering temperature. Still sitting at 9.5, that's about 1.5 degrees above 61 to 1990 averages, provisional to yesterday, to the 29th of April. That didn't move yesterday. I think that will move for today. Quite warm in the CT zone, quite warm and sunny. So I've got a feeling that will tick up to 9.6, 9.7, maybe, probably more likely to be 9.6. No, finishing up, quite a warmish month. But compared to the more modern average, though, 91 to 20, that's only about half a degree above average, really. So, quite significantly above average for the old and cold temperature average, 61 to 1990. But for the more modern average, that's not particularly warm. Right, these are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at London today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting off around to a little bit above average. Those upper air temperatures will be going up a bit more through the next couple of days. Then coming back down closer to average as we go through the bank holiday weekend. And then next week starting to lift up again for a while, actually, into the middle part of May. Then we're close to normal, but not a particularly big deviation either way. And as far as precipitation goes, well, in the first week it's looking quite unsettled, actually, although have got a couple of drier days at the moment, but from about Thursday onwards gets more unsettled with precipitation spikes coming through. Into the second week of May, up to middle of the month, we do have a bit of a drying trend then. So it looks like, wouldn't you know it, we time things to turn unsettled just nicely for the bank holiday around here. Oh dear, then things will start drying out into the second week of May, maybe. But of course, that is a long way off. It's a steady range and therefore is unreliable. Temperature anomalies from the 30th of April to the 8th of May, about average, not a particularly big deviation either way, but slightly above the more northern regions, a little bit below down the south. But it's not a big deviation either way, really. And precipitation anomalies from the 30th of April to the 8th of May, dry but average in the northern half of the country, and wetter than average down in the south. The latest wind from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we're drawing up a southerly wind today, and we've got low pressure out in the Atlantic as well. So we're bringing up these southerlies. That's the reason it's feeling a lot warmer out there. But the low pressure to the west is still producing some rain around the western side of the country. As the wind begins to shift from that southerly to southeasterly to easterly as we go through the week, we will find that we maintain generally quite warm temperatures, but there will be a growing risk of heavy showers and maybe some thunder down in the south. All right, let's start going back. Brings very nicely to this. Let's start going through the chart data then. So, sorry everyone, this is how the latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Friday. We've got a trough of low pressure sitting close to the country on Friday. That could be bringing some heavy showers and downpours. So a little bit of a ridge starting to try and build through into Saturday. As we go through to Sunday and Monday, we have a strengthening ridge of high pressure over and just to the east of the country. That draws the wind up from the south, so it should be relatively warm with that, although further showery bursts are likely out in the north and the west. That's the situation as we get to midnight Tuesday under a nice ridge of high pressure. Then UK Met is settling things down. Doesn't look too bad, I don't think, for the bank holiday weekend. However, other models are a little bit more unsettled than that for the bank holiday weekend. So this is how Icon is looking. Again, with that trough of low getting over the country at midnight on Friday. And we've got more low pressure trying to come in from the Atlantic as we go through the weekend. So a little bit more changeable, I think, with Icon compared to the UK. That's slightly more of an influence from lower pressure out in the Atlantic. Into next week, quite a vigorous low develops to the northwest of Scotland. That could bring some wet wind weather up there. But you notice the British trying to build up from the south as we get through to midday next Tuesday. We are definitely trying to break out of the unsettled weather. How successful we are with that remains to be seen. But we are definitely in the midst of a pattern change here. And we are trying, or the weather is trying desperately to break out of the low pressure domination, I think. That's how the KMA is looking. KMA is back today. So this is for Friday, again with low pressure over the southern half of the country. Could bring some heavy downpours in with it. That gets out of the way, and we sort of get low pressure trying to come in from off the Atlantic there, trying to bring unsettled conditions in with it as we go through the bank holiday weekend. That's actually bank holiday Monday, low pressure just to the southwest of Ireland. So that's threatening to bring a bit of a bank holiday Monday washout, much more unsettled than the UK Met and also Icon. And then beyond that, well, we get some higher pressure to the south, lower pressure to the north. That's the setup at the end of the KMA, all looking rather indeterminate, all looking rather flimsy. And probably trying to maintain unsettled conditions. Let's see what the GFS is doing. Again, we've got that trough of low pressure across the southern half of the country on Friday, with some downpours in with it, and then another low punching through Saturday to Sunday. So the GFS midnight run also looking a lot more unsettled for the bank holiday weekend. Into next week, though, the low pressure sinks away down towards France and the Mediterranean as high pressure takes over across the country, brings wind into the east and brings a lot of dry, relatively warm weather in with it. So high pressure in control throughout next week, really, once we get beyond bank holiday Monday anyway. High pressure dominating all the way up to and beyond day 10. Eventually it breaks down, and by the middle of May, we're back into these cooler and more unsettled conditions again And that's the scenario at the end of the GFS midnight run. Gets us to the 16th of May. Low pressure is in control then. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking. Again, we've got lower pressure sitting across the country, bringing showering conditions through Friday, and then another low punching through the country Saturday to Sunday, looking unsettled therefore for the bank holiday weekend. That's bank holiday Monday, low pressure just out to the west of the country then. So again, looking quite unsettled through the bank holiday weekend, and that low still across the southern half of the country into Tuesday before high pressure then begins to take over around the middle part of the week, starting to settle things down. So by the end of next week, day 10, which is Friday the 10th of May, we find ourselves back under an area of high pressure. And then into a more extended range, well, high pressure out to the west, we start to bring the wind in more to a north or a northeast, looking rather cool and showery then, and we head on up to the end of the GFS 6Z run, gets us to Thursday the 16th of May, and we find that high pressure is sitting over top of the country then, or a ridge of high pressure. So, you know, switching between high pressure, lower pressure, there's definitely a bit of a pattern change in the works here. We're trying to get to more high pressure dominated conditions, but how successful we are with that remains to be seen. It looks like it's been it's actually turning more unsettled over the bank holiday weekend though, so it's not until next week the high pressure really tries to get going. If you're enjoying the video, please do like, share and subscribe. And so if everyone bored doing that, why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't get to our friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 17 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.2k. If you could give us a sub, it would be amazing and it would be incredible, and we will thank you so much for doing that. Right, GM, again, low pressure across England, Wales on Friday. It's bringing quite a lot of wet weather or heavy showers with it into the bank holiday weekend. Low pressure out to the west, high pressure to the east. We're drawing up wind from a southerly direction. All looking a little bit changed, but I have to say, through the bank holiday weekend. That's bank holiday Monday. Low pressure still knocking on the door. Beyond that, though, just get past the bank holiday weekend and look at this. We get high pressure starting to push up from the south. That turns things drier and warmer into the middle part of next week. That's the setup at day 10 under an area of high pressure then, or under a ridge of high pressure, in quite a lot of dry weather and relatively warm weather too. And then the East Jam is looking like this, with low pressure once more in control and in the ascendancy as we go through into Friday, into the bank holiday weekend. Influences from low pressure, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a washout, but certainly it looks rather changeable through the bank holiday weekend, with low pressure not too far away. By the middle part of next week, we keep it unsettled actually, so there's no particular build of pressure through the middle part of next week, unlike on the other models. The East Jam keeps it rather cool and showery actually, with winds from the northwest and high pressure sort of back out to the west of the country again. So we're back into those northwesterly to northerly winds with the ECM as we go through next week. I think that might be a little bit of an outlier statistically. We'll have a look at it in a moment when we go through the options on the table. Most of the models are building high pressure over the country through the middle and second half of next week, but we'll see in a moment. Anyway, this was precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from Temeshow.com. Rain up the western side at the moment. We'll find most of that fizzling out and dying away. And then some heavy showers, maybe a bit thundery actually, coming in from the south and the east through the course of tomorrow. And they last into Thursday as well. They're particularly focused on England and Wales as well. Scotland should have a mostly dry second half to the week. Further downpours coming in from the east as we go through into Friday as well. That takes us through to the weekend, where things look like they're drying out at least for a while, but look at this, by the end of Sunday, got some wetter weather starting to come back in from the southwest, so looking rather showery as we go through into bank holiday Monday, with heavy showers coming up from the southwest. So the bank holiday weekend starting mostly dry and then turning more unsettled. Oh dear, and then we keep it rather showery through the course of next week as well. Remember, other models are looking a little bit more settled both for next week. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles Day 4, Day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 10th of May. 13 members of the ECM Ensembles have high pressure right over top of the coach. It should be mostly dry with that then. And 12 with high pressure just to the west and southwest. Again, should be quite a bit of dry weather. In with that, we've got 8 with high pressure over just slightly to the west, mainly dry, could be a little bit on the cooler side. With that, we've got another 8 with high pressure sent over Scotland. Again, that should be a mostly dry scenario. 6 including control and the operation run. This is the operation run scenario with the high pressure further west, low pressure to the east. That brings the wind in to the north. So, as I suspected, the ECM not particularly well supported by its ensembles, with those northwesterly winds through the latter stages of next week. Was a bit of a stochastic outlier. And then we've got 4 with high pressure, more or less over country, slightly up towards Scandinavia, winds in from the east with that one. Most of the options are more settled and probably warmer than the ECM operation run was around days 8, 9 and 10. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. We'll get us to the 15th of May. 16 members of the ECM ensemble with quite a deep trough of low pressure in over Scandinavia. High pressure is out to the west and winds coming in from a pretty cool and showery northwesterly direction. We've got 15 with high pressure centred slightly to the west of the coast, should be mostly dry and relatively mild with that. 13 with high pressure away to the northwest, some sort of trough in the Atlantic, could be a little bit showery, and 7 with high pressure over and slightly to the east of the country. Again, doesn't look as though we have much more in the way of higher pressure influences here anyway, as we're going through the first half of May. And, you know, how far we go with that, how much we settle it down, how long it lasts for, remains to be seen. That is open to question at the moment. CFS V2 finally, these are 500 millibar high times, broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 30th of April to the 6th of May. The next week we'll have high pressure to the north and low pressure will be to the south. Winds will be coming in from the east, so it should be relatively warm, but this Lima Sound could be a little bit on the thundery side. Week 2 looks pretty nice actually. This is the 7th through to the 13th of May. High pressure building up the western side of Europe. I think it's building up from the south, so it should have quite warm air associated with it as winds come up from a southerly direction. So warm and dry through the second week of May. Week 3 will be the 14th to the 20th of May, with a ridge over towards Germany and out in the Atlantic, low pressure to the north and to the southwest. That could just be a general to change to something a little bit more unsettled, a little bit more changeable there, with the ridge breaking down. However, look at week 4, it's the 23rd to 27th of May, high pressure then back just to the east of the country and also to the north. That again will bring the wind up from a southeasterly direction and should therefore be mostly dry and potentially quite warm. We have got this cut-off low to southwest as well, which would help to sort of draw up those southerly southwesterlies or southeasterlies. So I reckon that could be very warm actually by that point, going into the last sort of 10 days or so of May. That might, should I say it, that might be our first sort of 30-degree temperatures of the year. Again, though, will that verify? It's 4 weeks away. We shall see. I should have said that, should I? Anyway, we're done. I'll get myself in trouble. We're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. I said we need to put on around 70 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.2k, so please give us a sub. Thank you so much. Right, so tell us how many times. We've got a big day on the channel tomorrow. Going to have 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. I've got Terry Scully's main forecast coming up and a 10 to 14 dayer. But there will also be an extra video tomorrow, probably in the evening, something very different. For the first time ever, we're going to be doing a forecast for the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. I recorded it a week ago. I've been waiting to get to the 1st of May when I thought that would be an ideal date to release that. So, extra bonus video for the first time ever. GavsWeatherVids will be doing a forecast for the 2024 Atlantic tropical storm and hurricane season, and you will see that probably tomorrow evening. So that's going to be quite interesting, but also lots to look forward to as well tomorrow. Busy old day. Please keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one and for today's video, that's all for now. And thanks for watching. Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, Tuesday, and bye for now. Bye for now.